Why did nobody tell me that being a nanny is literally the best job ever? I didn't even mean to become a nanny. It literally happened by accident. And if you ask my friends, I don't even really like kids that much. But here's a story time of how this all happened. I picked up this job last week. And so I'm a Seattle hair braider here in Washington. And I got hit up by a mom to do herself and her son's hair. It was a house call. And so she sends me her address. The day comes and I'm getting ready and putting all my stuff together. I check the address and Mercer Island. If you don't know, it's quite literally one of the nicest cities, areas in Washington state. Mind you, I've never been here because I'm from a city called Federal Way. If you know anything about that, which for people who don't, Federal Way is also known as Felony Way. So anyways, I make my way over to Mercer Island, driving across the bridge, and I was like, oh wow, okay, I get to the house, and I'm like, one of the nicest houses I've ever been in. I get inside, smells literally divine. Divine. And I look over, she has plants everywhere, her couches match, all of her dishes are matching, and I'm like, this literally looks like a hotel lobby. The kitchen, it's like a white kitchen with the fattest island I've ever seen. And so I'm doing her son's hair, and then I get to her hair. We're sitting at the dining room table. She has these velvet dining room chairs, and I was like, wow, these feel nice. Fresh bouquet of flowers right in the middle, and so I'm doing her hair, and we're just chatting it up. She's telling me what she does, telling me their Halloween plans, all these things. And so we're just yapping. We get along really well. I'm telling her how I got started. And then she tells me about a nanny. She starts her little story time. She's like, yes, I had this nanny, but, it really didn't work out. She wasn't that great. I'm trying this nannying service. We've already gone through 2 nannies, and I just, really need one for the holidays. I don't know where what came into me, because I was like, oh, noted. So I'm doing her hair, and then I loop back around. I'm like, oh, so are you still looking for a nanny? And she was like, yeah, I am, but I'm not really actively looking. I just I know it will come. And I'm like, it will come because I'm right here in my head. But I don't even know why, because honestly, I don't even have a big desire to be a nanny. I never even thought about that in my life. I babysat maybe twice before. And again, I don't love kids. Her kids are a lot older. I think it's the newborns that make me really nervous, and the younger kids that make me but her kids are a lot older. And so I'm like, oh, what does the nanny do? And she's like, oh, they're really only here a few days a week, and it's mainly just doing the lunches and dinners and stuff, and picking the kids up. And I'm like, oh, interesting. When are you looking to hire somebody for how long? And she was just giving me oh, I think I would, as soon as possible would be nice, and just this going into the future, not really an end time frame. And I was like, oh, I'm doing 6 rows, so it's taking a few hours, 6 rows with feed-ins. And so I'm probably on the 3rd row, and I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. So I don't know if you're interested, but I would love to try this out. And she was just like, really? And I was like, yeah, I think it would be really interesting for me to try out and learn something new. And, I'm taking some days off from braiding just because I'm a little bit overwhelmed lately. And so this would be nice for an extra source of income, because I'm already around her whole kids, her whole house, and I'm already there. And I was just offering. You really, closed mouths do not get fed. So I was like, yeah, if you're interested, or if you want to talk about it with your kids, I would love to test it out if you want to test it out. I have no, professional experience in nannying, but it doesn't seem like that much work, and I actually have those days off, so if you're interested, I would love to test it out. She was like, honestly, I really love your vibe, and, we get along, you're already around the kids, I can tell you have good energy, I'll get back to you on it, let me talk to my kids. So then, she's like, but I also want you to think about it, because, this is super out of the blue for the both of us, because she was kind of hinting at it, because she wasn't answering all of my questions in detail. So that's why I felt comfortable enough to offer, do a counter offer and be like, hey girl, me. Anyway, so the next day I was I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, hey, I think I will take on the job. If it's okay with you, I'll definitely be able to do that. And we can talk about rates and stuff like that if possible, whenever you can. She goes, a few hours later, she's like, I talked with the boys. Yes, let's do it. Let's test it out. Boom. And it was crazy, because I was like, oh my God, all of a sudden I had another job. Anyways, and so then last week came around, it was my first week there, and I had the best time ever. It was like, growing up, I had always watched those make my kids school lunches, and I still watch those on TikTok. And just like, oh, dinner, like easy dinner for kids and all these things. I don't know why it's on my TikTok and For You page, but that's just what I'm watching. And so the fact that I get to make these lunches every day for these kids, it's so fun. And I get to make meals, and I love like cleaning, and it's just like so, like, it's mindless tasks. Like, it's different when I have to do it for like myself and at my own house, but when I'm doing it for other people and I get to care about like kids and like somebody else and like nurturing them in terms of like just feeding them and making sure that they're well fueled and like cleaning and the environment is good and just helping out her like the mom as much as I can has been so much fun. And it's like kind of like mindless. It's like so relaxing. I'll have a super stressful day, but then I show up to my nannying job and I just get to like, I don't know, just like be a woman and like clean. And not saying a woman all she does is clean and she cooks, but I'm saying like the traditional or like that nurturing aspect, like it's so like I get to care. I get to like care about kids and care about these meals and like all these things in the home. I feel so like good about it. Like, it's been so much fun, and I get to talk to the kids, and it's been so lighthearted. It reminds me like life is never that serious because the kids are just yapping and they're having a good time and we're all laughing together. And so I just have been really enjoying my new job, and I'm literally getting paid to just like cook and clean and like watch these little TikTok videos and recreate these lunches.